So this Green Beret says the feds approached him in early December ahead of something big, which was January 6th. Are there examples of people on the right, of other folks getting approached by feds to recruit them before January 6th? Let's connect the dots.
Yes, there are several examples. One example is from the kind of famous provocateur commentator Milo Yiannopoulos, who sent out a message over Parler. I'm not
I
sure
remember it.
what the verb is. He parlayed, saying, and this was really close to January 6th. I think it was on the 5th, maybe the 4th, saying whatever, I'm paraphrasing, whatever they've got planned on the 6th, it's big, stay the hell away, basically. So he knew something was up. And, there have been general reports out basically confirming that the feds had contacted a lot of people.
No, he said he was approached. Remember, if we could find the post, Milo had a picture of an FBI badge or a document, right? It was like I don't know if you remember this or not, Darren. It might still be on his Telegram. But he was approached by agents.
Yes, and that's my understanding, and that's certainly a reasonable inference from the Parler message that he sent out. So, I mean, I think the important thing to understand is the infiltration operation was extensive, and as we learned from Brown, which is, Milo's case was right before January 6th, and Brown, this was early December. In early December, it's quite something that they already knew that something big was going down in January. That wasn't common knowledge. That was before, Trump was even tweeting about anything at the Capitol, before there was a rally there that was publicly established, anything. So it's extremely bizarre, especially when you compound it with the fact that the sort of Florida Oath Keeper groups were some of the most heavily prosecuted in the seditious conspiracy cases, but we have confirmation here that agents were tracking everything going down in Florida, including the militia groups, as early December. So how did they have this conspiracy slip out of their fingers? It raises so many bizarre questions, and obviously, to me, since I've reported so much on EPS, it totally destroys any kind of position that, the government didn't prosecute Epps because he didn't go into the Capitol. Because in the case of Brown, in the case of some others like Mark Ibrahim, they have been charged with trespassing, but the government only charges people with trespassing if they're kind of pissed off at them for some other reason. But in the case of Epps, he was a very egregious person who was kind of on paper exactly the kind of person that they would want to make an example of. He was the guy in a Trump hat and a camo outfit, urging people to go into the Capitol, directing people to the Capitol. He was the former head of the Arizona chapter of the heavily prosecuted Oath Keepers. So it really intensifies so many pre-existing questions, open wounds of the Fedsurrection lie, in addition to showing in great and personal detail exactly the lengths that the feds are willing to go to shut up and to shut down one of the handful of people brave enough to be a whistleblower. And I think it kind of answers the question as to why more people don't come out. If you come out, you're not going to have a very easy life.
So then what are the marching orders for this Republican Congress, 1 minute remaining, Darren, to get these answers? Because I feel as if, we keep on pushing forward, but we haven't had serious people be held accountable yet.
No, there's no accountability. It's difficult to do that. I think that in light of recent prosecutions, we need to make political weaponization of the DOJ, prosecutorial misconduct, that needs to be front and center of any GOP agenda, because as I've said before, they've moved from shutting you up and shutting you down off of social media to prosecuting you and putting you in jail. And that is a very dark and dangerous escalation in our march to tyranny.